This attorney represented A survivors. He was just arrested in CP case. Why? You're in a profession where you're supposed to know the law. Why would you break it? Why do you think you're slicker than snot on a doorknob? I know, like in most legal cases, people can choose to represent themselves, but I kind of feel like if your profession is a freaking lawyer, then you should be required to. If everybody got to be sitting in a courtroom for 8 hours a day for an entire week, at least make a little bit of something of a spectacle out of it. I want to see Dingus here fumbling his statements like a football. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/iamatotalPOS, and if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. What's something that's very much a stereotype for the people that happen to live in the US that watch my videos, because for me, myself, in Maryland and all that jazz, crab people. Because we will in fact put Old Bay on everything. Food, your drinks, your kids. Yeah. Starbucks fired the employee responsible for igniting the Starbucks Workers United union campaign. Starbucks fired blank, the employee responsible for igniting the Starbucks Workers Union campaign, CNBC has confirmed. Blank worked as a shift supervisor at Starbucks for 7 years and served as a leader at the Blank store in Buffalo, New York, which was one of the first 2 stores in the country to win its union campaign. Starbucks Workers United announced Blank's termination in a tweet Saturday and said in a corresponding GoFundMe page that this is retaliation at its worst. Yeah, the caption also said they fired him and saying that their reasoning behind it was that because he was late a minute. Yeah, no, if a job don't want you doing anything that they don't like, they will in fact let you go. I got fired from Papa John's because I went across the street to Pizza Hut to do an interview because they hadn't given me a raise in 2 years and were hiring people at a higher starting rate. In both cases, for Starbucks, dude, take them to unemployment. You will win that case easily. Last night, a tornado that hit Belvedere. Look, I only know how to pronounce that because Monty Python, okay? Not too far from where I live. This took place at the Apollo Theater, a heavy metal concert. Heavy metal music is very satanic music. The concert was about to start, and this took place. The bands that even get a chance to worship Satan. That's what they do when they play the music. People wake up God trying to warn his people, I speak life. So basically, you're cheering on that people got hurt in this stuff. Congratulations. That definitely makes you holier than thou. 17-year-old Wendy's customer shoots a drive-thru worker after receiving the wrong size drink. Really? Wrong size? You couldn't just go in and get a different cup and you had to open a cap? I hate people. A young girl didn't want to slaughter the goat she raised for 4-H. The state senator who bought the goat at auction agreed to let it live out its days eating weeds. But sheriff deputies drove 500 miles to kill the goat and teach a 9-year-old a lesson. What lesson did the 9-year-old need to learn? If the lesson is that nobody will go to no bounds in order to absolutely be a POS and ruin somebody's day and week and month and probably even year and traumatize them, then you're doing a fantastic job at that. Swatting calls targets on this high school. Hoax calls were also made Tuesday involving schools in these 3 places, actually 4, I can't count. Law enforcement responded to at least 2 central high schools on Tuesday on reports of an active pew-pew that were later determined to be hoaxes. At approximately 12:44 p.m., the sheriff's office said that someone called emergency lines claiming multiple people were shot inside of this high school. The caller claimed to be a student and said he was hiding inside of the school. Yes, don't you know the good old classic high school prank that absolutely doesn't hurt anyone called let's call the cops on the frickin' school because, yeah, you know, we're cool and all that stuff. That is like the quickest way to become the most unpopular kid on campus. This wouldn't have been okay in any sense whatsoever, and I definitely remember back when I was in high school that we had things like the senior prank once a year where every people would do something that's more so practical, like, oh, I don't know, put a whole bunch of Solo cups on the ground in the hallway, but then afterwards we would clean it up, you know, because we're actually respectable people, even though I hated that building. It's not cool, not quirky, nor is it trendy to call the cops and SWAT your own school because you want to act funny. No, but it's just a prank. Yeah, tell that to the SWAT and see how well that goes over. So basically, what I've gathered from you all is that it's trendy to have a mental illness in 2019. I am autistic, dyslexic, social anxiety, bipolar, sociopathic, narcissistic, OCD, schizophrenic, PTSD, ADHD, manic, alcoholic, dementia, gnome, and cooler than you. You know, honestly, at this point, I've just gone numb to the fact that Keemstar only pops up whenever there's anything negative going towards him, and this has gone a while back, but I'm fairly certain dude done kept up the trend. Also, I'll tell you this right now, it is not fun to who have social anxiety or severe depression. Those are very much not things that I would flex. Are there people out there that act like this and very much think that more people will look at them if they fake that they have this stuff? Very much so. We've seen people in the past faking Tourette's for TikTok clicks. I am not kidding on that one. So if you're mental illnesses are not fun. It is not entertaining to randomly be sitting and then your mind just absolutely tanks and you feel like crap. A Melbourne teenager who met a man using an online dating app invited him over for lewd stuff and then strangled him in bed and is found guilty of his manslaughter. Blank was charged with ending over the death of an Indian student, this person, in the Salisbury house in 2018. But a Supreme Court jury of 11 instead found today that she was guilty of manslaughter, and the caption stated that it was dropped because, and it quotes, "I didn't mean for him to die." Yeah, you know, you just want to get a real good grab on him. Just another unfortunate court case chalked up to a good old-fashioned oops, my bad. R without violence should be legalized and victims should cooperate, says one filmmaker. People have called for a boycott of this person's films following his comments. A filmmaker has been slammed after he suggests that R was not a serious thing and that women should cooperate if they are having that happen. Cooperating or not, there's still no version of that where it's ever an absolutely horrible thing. It's called that for a reason, and I'm fairly certain dude is definitely not gonna go anywhere with his movies now. Yo, number, now. That was a little, intense? That's what she said. So how about that number, tuts? So, do you just match with women to degrade them, or do you think you're being funny? I have no intentions of degrading women. Women do a perfectly fine job of doing that to themselves. You literally called her mammary glands, or the version of that anatomy part that I can't say on YouTube. I hate those who hate themselves and seek to lift those who are struggling out of the mud, but I'll only put my hand out once. After that, you're back to drowning. Ah yes, way to go to say that every single thing you do that's for somebody is really much a transaction and you're not actually doing it because of the kindness in your heart that you've most blatantly already advertised. So, 1, how do we degrade ourselves? And 2, do you believe you're doing me a service right now? That you're the one to lift me out of the mud? Ah, but don't you know he's such a wonderful person? He'll help you out of the mud until you say that it's not a transaction thing and you're not going to do a kick flick, suck him off on the way out, and then he'll go and wind up shoving you back down into the mud. I played 30 shows last year. I'm in the midst of learning 40 more songs for 2 different bands while writing an album of my own. If you couldn't tell from my first message, I have no interest in having lengthy dialogues over messages. I mean, you very much advertise that you have shoe size IQ levels. I'm simply too busy. If you like a proper education, I might give you one if we ever meet. I do believe that involves you to actually have a cognitive thought process to do a little bit of teaching, so no thank you very much. You can make a risk and give me your number, or feel free to unmatch yourself. I feel like it would be less of a risk for me to run out into a lightning storm wearing a whole bodysuit of medieval armor than it would be to talk more with this dude. Plus also, let's see, 30 shows for a full year. Somebody did the math in the comments. That's like 2.5 shows a month. Yeah, you know, this guy's definitely a well-versed artist, going out every single weekend to do live shows and everything. Please do let me know which live venue you plan on getting booed at next. I'd love to show up. You know, what do you want to bet that my video will get demonetized while this video that this is on is gonna be perfectly fine? What do you want to bet that's gonna happen? One of the comments also stated that the person was a straight up psychopath, saying that coming out as vegan is harder than coming out as gay. I got no hope for anybody like this at all. Ah yes, you know, cause ban cruelty, not words. You know, it's not like there's any words that have history tied behind them. Oh wait, you're looking at one. And then what do you want to bet the person also has the good old card of, oh, but that was such a long time ago. Just because time passes does not mean a word loses its meaning. Imagine dating a white woman. I can't even say it, I'm a puke. Yeah, well, I don't want to be talking to anybody who can't physically have the ability to take their finger out of their nose. What are you doing, prospector? Digging for gold up there? You know, at the long end of the day, you're just gonna hear the simple sound of... Because, you know, it's totally not a POS thing to do to, you know, just be blatantly racist. Imagine dating somebody who can't take their finger out of their nose. An HOA in Arizona is forcing a teen who lost both of their parents out of a 55-plus community. An Arizona teenager who lives with his grandparents is being forced by the HOA to leave the 55-plus community. The family of this person, 15, tells ABC 15 that their grandson came to live with them after both of his parents died 2 weeks apart. It's amazing how one rule is more important important than one person's life, said this person, grandmother of the kid. This person said that she received an HOA letter from her community in this place that gives them a deadline of June to find another accommodations for the kid. We didn't plan this. We didn't go out one day and say, hey, let's have this person kill anybody, and let's have this person die, and then we'll take the kid in, said the grandmother. And to heck with the HOA, it's not the way it was planned. Yeah, initially I was thinking, okay, is this show going to be a kid living by himself because both of his parents who are over 55 died? No, he's still being taken care of by the grandparents. Grandparents are still legally able to live there, so the kid should be able to live there too. Just another wonderful example of why I absolutely hate HOAs. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.